Hey babes, welcome to the full moon / eclipse in Cancer video. I wanted to do a collective reading for everyone just to kind of tune into the energy, and I typically pre-record my videos, but I wanted to do this one with a live shuffle because I was just really feeling the intensity of this Cancer energy. And so for those of you that don't know, the new moons are always like setting intentions and helping you move with the rhythm of the month. They happen in the beginning of the month, and the full moons are all about like elimination, like what is being illuminated in your life, what is the spotlight on. The full moon, sometimes a lot of people go within and they kind of separate themselves because the energy is really strong for a full moon. And this full moon in Cancer is actually going to be on the 10th of January, and I just wanted to pull an overall energy. So with this overall energy, this is the moon card, and the moon is 32, which reduces to 5 in numerology. And you see how this person is looking out of the moon, and then there's also a person looking this way from the moon, because it's like almost like, whew, you see the disconnect between the eyes? There's two perceptions going on. There's two ways of viewing things. From a conscious level, directly, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm experiencing. I'm currently single. I'm currently in a relationship. I'm currently at this job. I'm currently making this much. It's like I'm really picking up on the shift of perspective between what you're actually seeing and what's actually going on in your subconscious. Because Cancer rules the moon, and the moon is all about connecting on a deeper level. You see how there's these mushrooms, and you know how people take shrooms and they go on trips? It's like, it's really that psychedelic energy of really tapping into what's beneath the surface. It's like a really big push on what's really going on underneath the layers. What do you really want to communicate? What are your beliefs behind what you see? Because we just entered out, we just exited, can't even talk, we exited a whole decade. Now, most of the time when we go through a new year and we're in January and we're like, I'm gonna write our affirmations, I'm gonna do this, but this year might feel a little different to most of us, including myself. It's kind of like there's this strong emotional pull, because this is Cancer, and Cancer is ruled by water. It's like there's a strong emotional pull, whether it's something that you recognize or not. It could just be a feeling that you want more emotionally out of your life. And emotionally doesn't have to be a relationship. It doesn't have to be a job. It could be finances. It could be, it's kind of like this push for change that this next decade is going to be so much more emotionally than the previous decade. It's almost like you put in that work, or you saw that contrast, and you experienced a disconnect in your perspective of yourself, of higher dimensions, or anything that you wanted for yourself. So for example, if you were in denial about what you really wanted, who you really wanted, where you really wanted to be, this is the energy right now. So this may not be the situation for you, but the energy right now with this full moon on January 10th is to truly take advantage of the changes emotionally that you want in your life, because this is not just a new year. This is the beginning of an era. This is the beginning of a decade. I just keep harping on this card because I feel it so strongly. This is going to be what you do, and what you put out with your intent is going to lay the foundation for like the next decade, which is 10 years. It's really so much more than just oh, I want to lose weight, or I want to do this, or I want to be in a relationship. It's really, really getting centered and looking at the two different perspectives that you have when it comes to what you want for your life. So getting really serious about that. And the second card that I have is the Three of Water. And this is a beautiful energy. I don't know if you can see it. So in this deck, this is the good tarot, by the way. In this deck, it's like this mermaid is holding these pearls, these riches. And the Three of Water in traditional, the Three of Cups in traditional tarot speaks of like partnerships and like joy, being around family. And it's funny because Cancer rules the fourth house. And the fourth house is all about family, longevity, emotional satisfaction. And so a lot of this is the energy. If you can do the work by going within and seeing what you really want and not being afraid, like not being afraid of your shadow self. That's what I'm also picking up. It's like releasing this fear, the fears that you have around the changes that you want emotionally, because Cancer again is about emotionally. So if it's in relationship to a job, it could be, I'm not going to be afraid to go for what I really want. Or if it's in a relationship, it's like, I'm not going to be afraid to say what I really want out of a relationship. And you're going to be in this joyous, abundant energy. Now, this energy is all about abundance emotionally, emotional satisfaction. So if you are brave enough to face your own fears, to face your own self, your shadow work, the energy on of this full moon and eclipse and Cancer on January 10th is really going to put you in this healing place to be able to just go for it, to be able to just have that extra push. And I want to pull a crystal card because whenever there's a ritual or there's any type of full moon or new moon, I like to work with crystals. And you can put your crystals in water. You can just focus on the crystal energy and do any type of ritual that you want. Sometimes I'll rub my crystals with my Florida water because whenever there's a moon, it's about emotion. So it's good to work with water rituals. But let's just pull a crystal card. And we got, I can't make this up. This is why I like to shuffle on camera because you can't make it up. So I got the clear quartz. And again, it's a little blurry, but this says, let yourself feel all of your emotions. Your entire rainbow spectrum of feelings is sending you important messages of guidance. Let me see if I can try one more time. There we go. And you see how this energy is all aligned? Now, this is not a depiction of what the clear quartz looks like. You could just write it down, go to a shop and, buy it online. You could buy it from my shop, but either way, working with clear quartz, it's really going to put you in this aligned energy, all of the chakras aligned coming from the base, just all the way up. And it's funny because it ties in perfectly with Cancer, because Cancer rules emotions. So it's like, it ain't easy looking at your shadow self, because I know a lot of people are like, you need to just face your shadow and do shadow work and forgive yourself and forgive others. And I'm going to be the first person to tell you that shit ain't easy. And that shit is not a walk. It's not always a walk in the park to face your demons or to face the things that you've been through. It's a process. So if that's writing 10 things down, or actually I like to do 5. Write down 5 things, 5 fears that you have that are holding you back from the changes that you want. And when you do, let yourself feel these emotions and let yourself feel them physically, emotionally. You can take a spiritual bath, or you could just cry. And then you could literally rip the paper up. But it's like, what I'm picking up is, as a collective, a lot of people are not able to let themselves feel those emotions because, coming from experience, I've struggled with depression my entire life. And it used to be really, really, really bad. And I thought that if I faced the inner part of me that I thought was really ugly and ashamed of and scared to face, that I wouldn't come back. And sometimes it's that deep for people. It's that deep that if they look at that ugly stuff that they don't want, or they look at those areas of their life that they're struggling in, they are too scared to feel their emotions. So therefore they don't make any changes. It's not that they don't want to change. It's just that they don't know how. So I'm going to give, I don't like to do readings. I typically don't like to do readings without doing some sort of like mini ritual guidance or something that you can do, because it's great to hear things. But so if you're watching this, you can pause this and just get a piece of paper on between now and January 10th, because the energy is going to be so strong. And I just want you to write down 5 things that you're afraid to face. It could be in your life. It could be within your career. It could be in love. 5 things that you're afraid to face, that could have stemmed from your childhood, that could have stemmed from things that you don't even know. Just write them. And if there's more, then there's more. But write down those 5 things and really allow yourself to feel that. And then I want you to rip it up. And if you cry, cry. If you get pissed, be pissed. But allow yourself to feel. Because when you do, you're going to be in this 3 of Cups energy, this 3 of Water, this joyous union with something. And the 3 of Water speaks of union, of being with other people, being around like-minded people, being surrounded by love. This is what you open up when you let go of the fear. So I just wanted to do this quick reading for this full moon in Cancer, because this decade, I just would like to see everyone getting closer and closer to our emotional fulfillment. Like, what's the point of life if we're not progressing, at least emotionally? Like, we can't be held back by ourselves, because we're the only reason why we're held back. Once you declutter the childhood trauma and the parents and the ex-girlfriend and the ex-boyfriend and they did this to me and this person did that to me, at the end of the day, there's only you looking in the mirror. And being brave enough to at least acknowledge your fears and to rip them up and to just look at them, acknowledge it, that there's a person inside that has feelings. Even if you don't tell anyone, you're going to be this much closer. So I'll list the crystal below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful full moon in Cancer, and I'll see you baby soon.